What's up, YouTube? This is a progressive thinker. You know who I am. Just call me Chris. My friend is here, Mahmoud. Today we're going
How's
to
it going?
talk about well, first we're going to start with the election results. So you want to start us off?
Yeah. So last Tuesday, the world got a shock, basically. Donald Trump won, and I guess you can consider that electoral landslide, can't you?
Yeah.
306 to 232. That seems like an electoral landslide to me.
Wait, what was it again?
306 to 232.
30. Wow, despite losing the popular vote.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he won in what they call the Blue Wall, which is the Rust Belt in the Northeast, it, I mean, it was shocking. He said that he could do it. And his internal posters came out like I think a week before. They were saying that he was actually doing well in Wisconsin and Michigan. I never thought that he could actually pull those two states off. I did give Trump a better chance than most people did, right? I was like more on the Nate Silver side. I thought he had like a 35 to 40% chance of winning. A couple months ago, actually, I thought that he had a really good chance to win before the whole Access Hollywood tape and all of that came out. But I never thought that he could pull off Michigan and Wisconsin. Never in my wildest dreams did I think he could do that. Uh, Silent majority theory, the Reagan Democrats, that turned out to actually be true. And I mean, it was shocking to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. Even Pennsylvania was really shocking. I mean, Nate Silver, who is a pessimist about Hillary winning, said that Pennsylvania had an 80% chance of going to Hillary.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
what was the Michigan and Wisconsin? I mean, I'm sure that was much
Excuse
stronger
me,
for
one second.
Hillary. Yeah, so he won 3 states that he should not have won. That had states that have been consistently voting Democrat for 3 decades. So it's hard to believe that the DNC could put out a candidate so bad that she lost 3 solid Democrat states in all the swing
Sorry
states.
about that.
Yeah, no problem. I was just talking about how crazy it is that the DNC, despite all of their advantages among minorities and the guy who was running against them this year, somehow lost 3 solid states and all of the swing states, I think, right? Maybe did she? I'm not sure about that.
She won New Hampshire. That's the only. No, she won New Hampshire and Nevada. Those are the
Nevada.
only two swing states she won.
Yeah.
I guess Colorado, if you want to consider that a swing state.
Yeah. I think it's usually blue. I don't know when the last time it went red.
I think 2004, maybe.
Okay.
Not quite sure about that though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, even like when the election results started coming in, I was like, wow, because he was up in Virginia, which was amazing to me, and he was up in Florida, and then I think like
North Carolina.
yeah, he was up in North Carolina by a lot, and I think like midway in the night, Pennsylvania swung.
Yeah.
I saw it getting closer and closer, then Pennsylvania swung, and then all of a sudden he was up in Michigan and Wisconsin by like 5 points. That obviously diminished uh, towards the end, but still, he won those states.
I was certain that Hillary was going to win because I calculated it, and I was like, even if he wins Florida, North Carolina, um, New Hampshire, and
Mm.
Arizona and Nevada, he still would need the all of Nebraska, and he would also need the that one district in Maine,
Yeah.
but the freaking Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and all that shit just saved him.
Right. Actually thought like in July, I thought that he had a really good chance of winning Pennsylvania. I think I said this in the last hangout that we did.
Yeah, I
Because
think you did.
yeah, I was in Pennsylvania and I saw all the support that he had in the working class areas in Allentown and Scranton.
Mm-hmm.
On the western coast of Lake Erie. I mean, the eastern coast of Lake Erie,
Right. Yeah.
which is western Pennsylvania. He had a lot of support there. He had a lot of support in Lehigh Valley. So I actually thought he had a really good chance of winning Pennsylvania. And I actually said that if I had to bet, he would win Pennsylvania. So that's why Pennsylvania wasn't really a shock to me. But after the whole Access Hollywood tape came out, at first I didn't think it was going to destroy Trump at all because he said a lot of things that might even exceed that as
Yeah.
far as
Definitely.
disparaging remarks. But the fact that the media like really was behind trying to destroy him with that tape,
Yeah.
And the fact that the polls, Hillary Clinton was up in one poll by like 12 points a week or so before the election. I actually started to believe those polls. I didn't think that she had a 90% chance or a 98% chance, whatever the Huffington Post and New York Times gave her to win the election. But I thought she had a really good chance of winning. I thought the best that Trump could do was get a electoral tie. I think he had to win all the swing states, New Hampshire, and Maine's second congressional district.
Yeah.
Get an electoral tie. I thought that was the best chance he had on
Or
election night.
maybe he might have also needed all of Nebraska for a tie. Or I'm not sure.
Yeah, he needed all of Nebraska, all the swing states, congressional district, as well as New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Maybe he even had to make a blue state red. Maybe
Nah,
he also had to
he wouldn't have had to do that.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was his best option in order to win. I mean, not win, but I think he would have won because obviously the House and the Senate became Republican, or the House was always going to be Republican, but the Senate, the Republicans would gain majority in the Senate. So
Mhm.
And interesting thing is, most of the seats, the really tight down ballot seats in the Senate went Republican, except for New Hampshire. Kelly Ayotte, who was a big Donald Trump critic, actually lost her seat to Maggie Hassan,
Yeah.
the Democratic governor of New Hampshire. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Uh-huh.
Like the voters punished her for not supporting Donald Trump or something.
Yeah. Where else? Not just in the Senate. Like, I mean, this isn't that surprising, but it was disappointing because all of this populist rhetoric this election cycle had a lot of progressives thinking that they could win House races, but a lot of them lost. Like Zephyr Teachout, which was one of the main House candidates that the progressives were really pushing for in New York. She lost her seat to I forget his name. And then
which district was this?
it's in upstate New York.
Yeah, upstate New York is like heavily Republican, like really pro-Trump.
No, it was the part that was like not so. It was the okay. She lost to John Faso again, who was the incumbent. It was in the 19th congressional district. That's like directly above New Jersey, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then in New Jersey, Peter Jacob was a progressive running against this really right-wing guy, Leonard Lance, and he lost that race. But I wasn't surprised because it's a heavily Republican district.
Okay.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, do you know of any like progressive wins that I like that were like significant?
In the House?
Yeah, because I can't think of any.
I don't think of any. I can't think of any. The only progressive win that I know of in the Senate was Kamala Harris in California.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, she's the former Attorney General of California.
Oh, okay. So what kind of, is she like really progressive? Is she like, what kind of?
I could look her up on the issues, but the Young Turks endorsed her, so I guess she is kind of a progressive. I haven't really seen them endorse someone who isn't really that progressive,
That's true. And I could be wrong. I haven't been watching them recently, but weren't they kind of, were they like really critical of Hillary? Like, I know they were really critical of her during the primary, but what about like during the summer, like when it was, everyone kind of forgot about Sanders?
They're definitely critical. Jank was certainly critical. He was actually on Nate Silver's side with the predictions of who had the greatest chance of winning. He gave Trump about a 45% chance of winning.
Okay.
And he came out really visceral against her after they lost. He came out strong against Hillary Clinton and the way she ran her campaign, the fact that she is a corporate Democrat.
Yeah, even
etc.
Even other neoliberals are going after her. For example, Chuck Schumer, who is a big Democratic insider, he's saying that Keith Ellison should be the DNC chair, who is one of the most progressive people in the Progressive Caucus.
Right. I mean, even Barack Obama came out yesterday saying that Hillary Clinton ran a terrible campaign. She basically forgot about the working class white voters in the Rust Belt, and that's what lost her in the that's what lost her the race, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, even Obama won those people, and you know, liberals like a lot of liberals like to not like to, but they kind of think that these people are really racist, and I mean, I'm sure some of them are, but I don't think that's as big of a factor as it is, because Obama won those states pretty strongly, and especially in 2008.
I have a brother-in-law who works at a union, right? He works with a union, and he works on construction sites in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
This is in, I think, Linden, New Jersey. So this is northern New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
And all of his coworkers came in the day after the election. Remember, this is a union. They endorsed Hillary Clinton and all that. All of his coworkers came in with "Make America Great" hats, "Make America Great Again" hats on, you know, celebrating the fact that Trump won.
Wow.
So these are people that voted for Barack Obama in 2008 and 2012. And I actually looked at these maps in these Rust Belt states, and you could just see how these counties flipped from being light blue to dark red, and it's amazing. Even Minnesota, which is one of the bluest states in the country, if you look at the map, compared from 2012 to 2016, all of these different counties just flipped, and they flipped heavily in Trump's favor.
Minnesota was the only state to vote for Walter Mondale in 1984, and Hillary almost lost it to Trump.
Yeah, which is insane.
That's incredible.
Even Maine. Have you seen the map from Maine compared to only one district in Maine voted for Mitt Romney?
Really?
Only one county voted for Mitt Romney in the whole second congressional district, which is the first time a Republican ever won to Trump.
That's crazy. I'm looking at that now.
Yeah, just look at the comparison from 2012 to 2016. Look up Maine 2016 election results.
So
and then go back to 2012. You're gonna see the whole northern part of Maine is red.
Maps.
Just look up Wikipedia. Wikipedia 2016 Maine election results.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. All of northern Maine, all of western Maine, basically.
And compare it to 2012. At the very top, it allows you to go back to the past election cycle.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Well, yeah, you're right. One county, and it's not even dark red. It's as light red as it possibly can be.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I did that with all the states, with Pennsylvania, with Ohio, with Wisconsin, with Michigan. And you could just see how all these counties flipped in Trump's favor, and it's pathetic, really. So all the people who are still complaining about the fact that Hillary Clinton won a popular vote, she had no excuse for losing those states. Those are states that she had no excuse for losing.
Absolutely.
And she didn't even campaign in those states. Didn't even bother to campaign. So she completely forgot about those voters. And they can come out and say that they're racist all they want, but these are the same people that voted for Barack Obama. This is the same at Barack Obama winning 2008, 2012.
Yeah, and yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of people just jumping on the whole they're racist thing, and they refuse to even talk to those people. For example, I made a post the day after the election saying that I understand there's racism in the Trump coalition. Obviously, that's like obviously, but a lot of the people in the white working class areas, that wasn't a factor that played into it. And I had several people unfriend me for that.
People are delusional, really. I mean, the Hillary Clinton supporters are completely delusional. They're saying that they actually saw an article saying that the liberal left are sexist. These are Hillary Clinton backers saying that the liberal left are sexist. They're using Republican terms
to refer
to Bernie Sanders supporters.
Wow. So
they're blaming everybody but Hillary Clinton for her loss.
That is crazy. And they're actually using the language that they refused to for so long. They're admitting that they're not liberal
Right.
or left.
I mean, Hillary Clinton has always used Republican terms. You remember the super predator term that she referred to for black youths in urban situations.
Yeah, in the 90s. And even in 2008, her whole campaign against Obama was like kind of racist. It was like she tried to depict him as a Muslim and a foreigner. And that's where all this shit about Obama being a Kenyan started.
Right. Didn't John Podesta start that whole thing?
Really? I don't know.
Yeah, so I mean, like, Hillary Clinton supporters are really delusional. And they still don't understand the fact that they lost because of these voters that she should have won. She had no excuse for losing. Keep bringing up the fact that she won a popular vote. The only reason why she won a popular vote is because of California. Let's be honest there. Trump was up in popular vote before the results came in from California.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that that's not the way the election works. That's why I kept telling people during this whole cycle, don't look at national polls. They don't matter. Look at swing state polls.
Exactly. Yeah. And people are refusing to accept it now. And a lot of these people, this is what annoys me, a lot of these people are people who refuse to vote or like were just too lazy. It's like, and I mean,
Or they probably voted because they thought they were very arrogant, like Hillary Clinton herself, and thought that she was going to win by a landslide.
Yeah, and they refused to listen to everyone, basically, especially us on the left, saying she's not going to win unless if she appeals to this major demographic. She's not going to win.
Well, I'm going to be honest. The mainstream media machine was like very convincing because I really thought that Donald Trump basically had no chance of winning.
Yeah,
it was very convincing. And I was one of the people who were saying that, you know, back in July, that Donald Trump had a really good chance of winning.
So was I, but then the mainstream media duped me, like basically right before the election. I was like, oh, it's impossible that Trump can win. But no.
And, you know, that's another reason why we need to stop, you know, relying on the mainstream media. We need to pay more attention to left-leaning alternative media sources.
Yeah. I think The Hill is a really good website.
Okay.
And then obviously both you and I like to watch Kyle Kulinski, more not necessarily ideology, but just for like he actually knows like political strategy, unlike these centrists who think they're so smart, but they actually know nothing.
And he's actually a decent journalist.
Yeah.
Actually does research before he like makes a video on a subject.
Yeah, I can't believe the state of journalism is like CNN and Fox News, and they don't do any journalism. They barely talked about the third party candidates at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's a result of the Democrats and Republicans coming together to suppress third party support, which didn't really work because Gary Johnson got 5% of the vote.
3%,
which is actually really impressive.
But
3%?
still, it's still impressive. It's more than, I think it's the most. That's the most the libertarians have gotten, definitely, and I think it's the most the third party's gotten since Ross Perot.
96, I think. Yeah, 96. Ross Perot.
Yeah.
I mean, if one of them had the chance to actually get on that stage, who knows? And, you know, that's another group of voters that Hillary Clinton supporters are blaming for her loss, third party voters.
Yeah, it's like, it's fuck off. Can't you just, like, accept the fact that your candidate sucked?
She's definitely the worst candidate since probably, I'm not going to say Walter Mondale, because they had a complete mandate, but she's definitely the worst since probably Barry Goldwater.
Really?
I think she's the worst candidate since Barry Goldwater. I really believe it.
Well, she was a Goldwater girl, so
yeah,
maybe
she was a Goldwater girl. She said it herself.
And yet her like supporters are like, oh, anyone who doesn't support her is a bigot. She literally supported a segregationist.
Yeah.
Oh man. Why do you say that she's the worst since then?
Because she lost in the so-called blue wall. And she was losing, and she was losing states like Minnesota when the election results first came in. She was losing in states like Virginia. She only made up ground later in the day. You know, the fact that she was losing in those states, potentially lost those states, it's pathetic. And the fact that she lost states that haven't gone to Republican since 1984, 1988, respectively, is pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing short of pathetic. And Bernie Sanders, let's be clear, he would have won by a landslide. I think he would have won more impressively than Barack Obama did in 2008.
See, I agree that he would have won, but like, I don't want to say anything because like the Republicans do bring up the point, or not just Republicans, but like Clinton supporters too, that if Bernie Sanders was the nominee, they would have gone after him by showing those like clips of him in the 80s talking about Cuban healthcare and supporting the Sandinistas and having a honeymoon in the USSR. Like, do you think that could have really hurt him?
Amongst baby boomers, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think he would have been galvanized by the youth vote. I mean, even the youth vote even went to Hillary Clinton by a large amount. So I think I saw these maps where voters between the ages of 18 and 25, all states but a few, went to Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah, it was like I saw that too. It was like if only millennials voted, and
Right.
the only states that were red was like Wyoming and something else maybe. I don't
Yeah.
remember. Some state like that.
And I mean, if we actually get a good candidate, there was some good that came out of this election. Like Texas, I think Trump only won Texas by like 7 points. Right about that?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a state where Republicans should be winning by like 20 points. So Texas is. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Yeah, so Texas is like beginning to lean blue. If you could actually get a good candidate in 2020, maybe you could make that a swing state. Who knows?
That would be historic. Jesus. And the other thing, I think this is right. I think Georgia was actually closer than I thought it would be.
Georgia was pretty close. I think it took a while to actually call it. Arizona too, but I mean, he won those states by a fairly good margin at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But they were closer than they should have been.
I mean, just imagine though if we got a Democratic candidate who could win Georgia, Arizona, Texas, and get the Rust Belt states back.
Right.
And I mean, not Texas, but that probably could have happened if Sanders ran.
Yeah, I don't think Sanders would have won in the South. I think he probably would have won in Arizona, but I don't think he would have won in the South.
Georgia, does Georgia have a lot of baby boomers?
I think Georgia has a pretty young electorate. Might be wrong about that.
I'm not sure.
But the Atlanta Metro is definitely very liberal leaning.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas, you do have Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin.
Yeah, and then you have the rest of the state.
Yeah. I think she was actually up in Texas for a little bit because San Antonio was like the only place that was coming in.
Oh. Yeah, so we just need to win those big cities, and then if we could get a better candidate who can either win. Well, also there's the fact that like more immigrants are coming in, so that helps the Democrats.
Right. But I mean, I hate to say this, but Donald Trump is threatening to deport up to 3 million immigrants in his first 4 years. So could that possibly have a negative effect, or do you think that will possibly bring out more immigrants to vote?
Well, I mean, if they're undocumented, they can't vote anyway.
Right.
So yeah, I don't actually think it would have a negative impact.
Yeah.
And like you said, that would encourage immigrants to go out and vote.
Yeah. So I mean, election 2016 was it was definitely odd, to say the least.
We're going to be talking about 2016 for the next like 20 years.
I think for the next millennium. I mean, this is definitely the biggest. I think this is the biggest election cycle since 1864.
Really?
Yeah, really. I really think that.
Why do you say that?
I don't think there's been an election that has changed everything like that. I mean, I guess that you could say that 1968 maybe, because you had the whole realigning of the southern states from Democratic to Republican with the
Yeah.
Southern strategy. But I mean, rhetoric in the country, like the whole political system as a whole, you have people calling for the end of the Electoral College. We have a freaking reality TV star as a president. This is the biggest election cycle since 1864.
Yeah, and ideologically too. I mean, I think
Yeah,
neo.
the fact that we have a fraction of the Republican Party that's alt-right now
Yeah,
is insane.
that's like semi-fascist.
Right.
And neoliberalism, I would say, has been like the economic system that's been prevailing here and in the rest of the world really since the 70s. And
Yeah.
I think we're starting to see that unravel.
I mean, if the Democratic Party is smart, we will see the death of the New Democrat. Clintonism should be dead. And with the resounding rejection of Hillary Clinton, Clintonism should be dead. But, they don't seem to be very bright. So who knows?
Just wait for them to die.
Yeah, I mean, I already think that they're probably going to bow down to the Republicans and like pass everything that Donald Trump wants to pass.
It's so stupid. After everything the Republicans have done for the past 8 years.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to see a destruction of the EPA. We're going to see the destruction of several important agencies. The Department of Education is like out the door. That's not going to be a thing anymore. We're going to be teaching kids that slaves were migrant workers. We're going to have somebody who believes that fracking is the best thing since sliced bread be the head of the Interior Ministry, the Ministry of Interior. We're going to have
who thinks that being a governor of a state that sent cargo to Russia gives her foreign policy experience.
Yeah. We're going to have a crypto fascist as a main strategist in the White House. What else? We might have a guy who thinks that we need to bomb Iran as a Secretary of State.
Jesus, yeah, that's scary. A combination of people deny climate change, Sarah Palin, and more neocons.
Yeah, and we might have Ted Cruz as a judge on the Supreme Court for the next, 40 years.
That's scary.
So, yeah. And this is all the Hillary Clinton supporters' fault. Yeah, I'm going to blame you guys for this. You guys love to blame everybody else for her laws. Well, we're going to blame you for this.
Yeah. Seriously, fuck you. Good job. Thank you for all of this. Like, they control 3 branches. They're going to have Supreme Court justices for decades, and they're going to be appointed by Trump.
Right. And I mean, depending on how well the economy is under Trump, we might have a super majority in the Senate in 2018. Who knows?
Yeah, because they'll like cut spending on a bunch of shit, and so the economy might be better for like 2 years. So voters don't think ahead, and
Right.
they just wow, Trump's a really good president, and yeah, we're just left with the Republican Senate. Also, we have a commenter. We have 2 commenters, so they both have questions and comments. Do you want to just like go through them?
Yeah, we could take a break and do that before we like move on to after this. I think we should move on to talk about who might be the next chair of the DNC.
Okay, sure. I'll go from the beginning. Actually, I'll go from the beginning. So, not sure if you've talked about it yet, but what do you think the Dem Party should do going forward? You want to start off with your response to that?
I think that's actually perfect because it does like go into what we were going to say about the next chair of the DNC.
Right.
So Yeah, I think that first, the very first thing that the Dem Party should do is elect Keith Ellison, the congressman from Minnesota, one of the most progressive congressmen in the Congress, obviously, to be the next chair of the DNC. I mean, we saw that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was a disaster. We saw that Donna Brazile rigging the election for Hillary Clinton by giving her advanced knowledge about debate questions. And, you know, we saw that the Democratic Party was absolutely disastrous in the election, losing states that they should have won. So the very first thing they should do is elect Keith Ellison, who is, you know, from the Bernie Sanders wing of the party, to be the next chair, and restructure the platform for 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Really for 2018, so the Dems can get back some Senate seats.
Yeah, as soon as possible, honestly. I don't really, that was a good answer. I don't have anything else to say for that. Would you have wanted Jill and Gary in the debates? I would have loved to see them. Yeah, we talked about that before. I think we both wanted it.
Yeah. I mean, it would have obviously given precedence to the fact that there are third-party candidates that you can vote for. You know, a lot of people came, not to me, but a lot of people were talking about the fact that they hated their options. There were some other options, you know, and a lot of people didn't know about that. So, I mean, it would have been nice to give that some notoriety.
Yeah, and you know, people will be like, "Oh, the two candidates were such idiots, though, for the third parties," and it's like, so are the main ones.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Gary Johnson is a kind of a dumbass.
Yeah,
and Jill Stein obviously has her issues, but
yeah,
you know, there are other people that you can also vote for. You could write in a candidate if you wanted to.
yeah. That's true. There's also the several socialist parties. There's
Right.
there's the Constitution Party. Don't vote for them. That's like the most
No, they're like fascists.
reactionary party you could vote for. I don't know what else there is besides that.
I mean, yeah, most importantly, you should like vote for. You know, I would have voted for like a socialist party in the city council or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's crucially important too that people don't realize. You really have to get involved with like not get
Regional
involved, but
politics.
yeah, local politics. You have to know who the people like are running because I'm in college now and I've been writing at this newspaper a little bit and like I had to cover a local election. You wouldn't realize, but a lot of your local politicians are probably really corrupt and they get away with a lot of shit because nobody cares. And so, yeah, if you hold them accountable and you get progressives elected, that could have more of an impact on your community than the national election. So, oh, wow, I didn't know this.
Did they have any more questions?
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, there's more questions, but first I want to get to his comment. He said 9% of Democrats voted for Trump.
That's not shocking at all. I mean, like we said, a lot of blue collar workers, a lot of people in unions voted for Donald Trump, and they make up a considerate amount of Democrats. So I don't think that's surprising at all. But the thing that was surprising, kind of, but not really, was the fact that Trump won a large amount of, well, not a large amount, but a much larger amount than Mitt Romney did of minority voters. So I think he got 31% of Hispanic voters and 13% of Black voters.
Yeah,
so
that is strange.
Yeah, and in Florida, I think he won like 34% of the Hispanic vote.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton supporters could not explain that, like why that happened, though. You can't call racism on that.
I can't explain that, really. I don't think anyone can. You explain it? Why would Hispanic voters vote for Trump?
I think it's just that they're pissed off. I don't really know. They're tired of the arrogance and the elitism coming out of the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think the minority voters are tired of the fact that the Democrats think that, you know, they're going to win them no matter what. Like, they're taking them for granted. Their votes don't count, basically. That's probably the reason why minority voters went to Trump, and a larger amount than they did for Mitt Romney.
Yeah. More questions.
I mean, you know, a lot of minority voters believe that you have these Democratic candidates come and pander to them for the election cycle, and then they forget about them for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Maybe we could have Judge Louis Gohmert on the Supreme Court.
Oh, that would be awesome, man.
Yeah.
Louis Gohmert is one of my favorite people in Congress.
Totally.
He says some of the best things. You know, he has some of the most redeemable quotes of anybody in Congress.
Was it him or someone else that said? Wait, I don't. Do you know any quotes off the top of your head?
Not off the top of my head, but I mean, he says some crazy shit.
Yeah,
I could look some up.
Super right-wing Christian.
Let's look up some Louis Gohmert quotes. Let's see. It's not evil to cut food stamps. Some poor people are obese, so this will help them.
Wow.
Obama's taking too much advice from the Muslim Brotherhood. What else? Yeah, so Louis Gohmert is a great choice for the Supreme Court.
Yeah, very
We'll love to have a guy like him on the Supreme Court for the next 30 years.
Very socially progressive and refined. Very refined person. Okay, next question is, will we see a progressive Tea Party after this election?
He means like a progressive revolt in the Democratic Party?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, like if you start off with electing Ellison as the DNC chair, that's a good start. And then we're also hearing about this guy's not really a progressive on social issues, but he is anti-trade. Tim Ryan out of Ohio, he might become the House Minority Leader. He is going to challenge Nancy Pelosi. So I mean, if we just start there, then that is setting precedents for kind of this, I guess, progressive revolution in the Democratic Party. And we might get a platform change, which would be great.
Yeah. And it also seems like Bernie Sanders has kind of set up this movement that it has influence, and Bernie still has a lot of influence with these like grassroots groups that he kind of ignited during his primary.
Right.
Okay. Will Trump pass any positive policies in your opinion? Oh, I don't know.
I think he will.
Look,
I honestly think that he will not NAFTA, the TPP.
TPP? Yeah.
He says that he's going to pass this rule for his cabinet where they cannot solicit money from companies and shit like that after they leave politics for 5 years, for up to 5 years. So he does seem to have this anti-lobbyist streak going, which is good.
That would.
I don't think that he will ever propose a 28th Amendment against lobbying, but support a 28th. Who knows? Who
knows? Yeah, he was vocal about that somewhat during the primary.
That was one of his main things. That's the reason why he won in the Rust Belt, really.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't think
his anti-trade, anti-lobbying message.
Yeah, but I don't think he was like has a plan for like ending lobbying, really. Like.
Yeah, no, he actually does. I think he said elected officials cannot. I don't know.
No, yeah,
he released this.
I know that, but like, I mean, like for elections in general, like taking money out of politics. Not, I know.
Yeah, no. I mean, he himself was not self-funded. That was bullshit. That didn't happen. Sheldon Adelson gave him, I think, $25 million in the last week of the election. Donald Trump is full of shit. He did not self-fund. I think Kyle himself said that before he ran for president, he was going to the Koch brothers and all those guys, begging them for money. And they're like, no, fuck off, you're crazy. So that's why he decided to do this whole self-funding thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Donald Trump as the anti-money in politics guy, is bullshit.
Anti-money in politics was was a major campaign donor and not a lobbyist himself, but had lobbyists for years, friends with the Clintons.
He was a lobbyist, basically. I mean,
Oh, he was?
well, not really, but he gave money to campaigns to bribe them.
Oh,
He gave money to the Attorney General of Florida, so she
yeah.
wanted to investigate the Trump University thing.
He was a donor, but a lobbyist is technically different because a lobbyist is like a
Yeah, yeah,
lawyer who represents someone.
right. Represents a company, yeah,
Yeah.
or an industry.
Yeah, or an industry, because it's totally not corporations that are like the people doing it like 90% of the time.
Well, you got to understand that. You have to understand that corporations are people, and money is free speech.
Yeah, no, totally. A corporation is a person. Uh, the Blackwater private arms manufacturing company is a person. If they want to go to
Exactly.
Iraq, we have to let them. They're a person. Why can't
Yeah, I
they?
mean, they could just like murder civilians all they want,
Yeah,
just shoot civilians for fun. Doing in Iraq,
yeah. I
and
mean,
they're a
they're helping
person.
us.
And that's free speech.
Exactly. That they're using their freedom of movement.
Exactly. Their freedom to assemble and murder children in Iraq.
Yeah, I mean, are you really going to restrict their freedom to kill people? I mean, that's restricting their freedom to take away other people's freedoms. I don't really why that's really against what this country stands for.
I actually saw something that the NSA is going to be projected to lose a lot of cells because Donald Trump is the president. So I don't think they're too happy about that because they need an Obama or a Hillary Clinton to be president in order to stoke fear in rural Republicans that the government's coming to take the jackbooted thugs are coming to take their guns. So the fact that they have Trump there now, I don't think they're too happy about that.
Yeah. Wait, the NSA, you said the NSA,
The NRA.
right?
No, the
Oh, the
NRA.
NRA. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true because like they're not going to listen to the propaganda and the NRA is going to look like really stupid if they try making like the propaganda against Trump that they did against Obama.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to think of something that they can use to make sure that gun sales don't go down. Maybe they could still say that Obama is going to secretly
Seize
dictate a third
power.
term or something like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could say that ISIS is in control of the government somehow.
Yeah, Donald Trump really isn't the president. It's ISIS using a fake hologram.
Yeah. It's actually Baghdadi in a Trump mask.
Yeah, buy more guns. They're really going to help you when the government totally comes to take them. Yeah.
Are there any more questions or no?
Yeah, there's one more. Which Republican candidate running would have been the least damaging for the country, in your opinion? I don't know. All of them would be most damaging.
It's Donald Trump. I mean, if he does get rid of the TPP, I don't think any other Republican would have done that.
Yeah, if he can manage to, I mean, if he gets rid of the TPP, if this election scares the shit out of the Democrats so much that they have the progressives take over and realign the party, then Trump is going to be a great president, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's going to be great by the fact that he's terrible.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be great for us.
Yeah, he's going to galvanize the progressives and change the Democratic Party, basically. But I mean, he might do irreversible damage along the way. So Trump is going to be the best and the worst. Well, not the worst. I don't know. I think Ted Cruz possibly would have been the worst.
Oh yeah,
would have been worse than Trump, but and good at the same time, I guess, for at least for progressive causes.
Yeah, I mean, if I was Muslim, I'd be a little worried because of all this Trump effect stuff. And I can understand people who are really feeling unsafe, but yeah, that sucks. But in terms of a long-term view on democratic strategy, that will really help us. And if we have progressives who come to power, then we could change the country for the better as well.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is that Donald Trump has 4 years to destroy science in the country. He has 4 years to destroy the EPA. He has 4 years to elect maybe two, maybe even three, because I think there's 3 Supreme Court judges right now who are nearing their 80s. Or not, what? Right,
One of
three,
them's
right?
in their 80s, Ruth Bader
Yeah, she's on
Ginsburg.
her way out, basically. I think she's about to retire.
Oh, she shouldn't.
She shouldn't, but I think she is.
4 more years.
Didn't she come out and like come out really hard against Donald Trump?
Yeah, even like over the summer, I think.
Yeah. Then she came out and apologized for it, which is weak as hell.
Yeah, that's really weak. She shouldn't have done
That's
that.
what Democrats do. They always apologize to Republicans.
Yeah, they're weak as fuck. Besides the Sanders crowd.
Yeah, I mean, what was the name of that one? We're kind of getting off subject right now, but there was this one person on MSNBC. This one analyst on MSNBC. She said something that wasn't even that bad. She had to like make a whole segment crying and apologizing for it. Oh my God.
Well, what did
Melissa
she?
Harris Perry. I don't remember what exactly she said. Melissa Harris something.
Harris Perry.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me just type in Melissa Harris Perry apologizes.
This person just commented saying Rand Paul was decent on some foreign policy and criminal justice issues.
Yeah, but at the same time, Rand Paul thinks it's okay for businesses to discriminate based on race and gender and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and the libertarian economic ideology is just dangerous, in my opinion. I'm not like a socialist or a communist, but like you can't privatize like everything. That doesn't work. Like there's some places markets just do not belong, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, did he come out against privatized prisons or no? That would be kind of like contradictory to his whole
Good
being
question.
a libertarian.
Let me see.
But he's also against the war on drugs, so.
Yeah, that would be hard to be against the war on drugs and for private prisons, because that's like the whole reason they exist.
Exactly.
Private.
Rand Paul was out of there pretty quick, though. I think he was like one of the first people to drop out.
Yeah, it was refreshing to see someone who like knew what they were talking about with the serious stuff. But like other than that,
I mean, I think we can all say that Donald Trump is slightly better than Lindsey Graham as far as foreign policy is concerned. So thank God he's not the president.
oh yeah, that's true. Or Ted Cruz, because I feel like he would have been a neocon as well.
Yeah, didn't Ted Cruz say something about like nuking Iraq until the sand glows or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Ted Cruz would have just been terrible all around. I mean,
Awful every single way. I can't think of a single redeeming quality about him.
redeemable quality about Ted Cruz.
Like he's right.
He's the most smug politician possible. Like even worse than Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
He makes me cringe more than Hillary Clinton does.
And he's smug and he's wrong about everything. That's what I hate. He's smug and he's wrong. Like,
and have you ever heard about the fact that he thought that he was like so superior to all of his study group classmates and stuff?
Yeah, and he
would only study with other Ivy League students.
Oh, so smart.
But at the same time, he's a man of the people.
Yeah, a man of the people who just wants to privatize your Social Security, cut all social programs, send you to war, where you're gonna help turn the sand. I don't know. He's crazy.
Yeah, and he also wanted to ban dildos while he's the Attorney General of Texas.
What the fuck? Who?
Yeah.
Why is that an issue to anyone?
He's a small government Republican, you know.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know, so small government that he would love to have the government knock down your door if you're using a dildo, you know.
That's the thing. This is kind of off topic, but like the small government, big government dichotomy doesn't really make sense.
Well, I mean, as far as education and the environment is concerned, they are very much in favor of small government.
Yeah. But I mean,
You
just,
know, as far as getting money out of politics, they are very much small government. As far as like ending, uh, corporate corruption, they're very much in favor of small government.
yeah.
But when it comes to the military, they're for big government.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, for example, with the corporate corruption, they want small government. And when they say small government, the connotation is that, like, it's going to be more like there's going to be more liberty and less corruption. But in certain areas, when you have small government, there's actually way more corruption. And
Yeah, that's the point. And the point is for more corruption.
yeah, and
When you don't have the government regulating these corporations, of course there's going to be more corruption.
yeah, but that's like they mean it in the opposite way.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they're going to rip up Dodd-Frank. Day one. They already said this.
Does Trump is Trump planning on doing something more strict or
As far as regulations are concerned,
on banks? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He claims that he would, but I doubt it.
That kind of sucks. If he was, then like that would be really good.
I love how the media tried to make it seem that he was going light on Obamacare because he said that he wants to keep the two most popular provisions that no Republican, not even Ted Cruz, would have said he wanted to get rid of. Keeping the age limit for children on their parents' premium until they're 26, and getting rid of insurance discrimination for pre-existing conditions.
Who wanted to get rid of that?
Republican. No, I don't think. No, I'm saying Trump said he wanted to keep those two provisions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the media is saying, oh well, maybe he's going light on Obamacare. No, you idiots. No Republican would have came out against those things because they're popular.
Yeah.
He's being a politician. Also, the fact that people think that Donald Trump is not like a standard politician, that he's some down-to-earth guy, it's bullshit.
Fuck no. No, he's never.
Here's a guy who calls people the worst names possible, but as soon as they bow out the race and they come to endorse him, he's like, oh, he's such a great guy. That's politics 101. If he actually despised Ted Cruz, he wouldn't be considering him for a possible Supreme Court pick. If he actually despised Mitt Romney, he wouldn't be in consideration for Secretary of State. If he actually despised Hillary Clinton, he would still try to prosecute her.
Yeah, but one person he does despise, which I'm very glad about, is Chris Christie.
Oh, now he despises him.
Yeah. And that was because of the whole like lobbyists thing, right?
Yeah. And that's only because Donald Trump is, again, being a politician. He knows the fact that he won this election because he came out against lobbyists, and he would not win a re-election by losing his base. So he's like, I'm not going to have all these lobbyists on my cabinet because that makes me look like a hypocrite. It makes me look like somebody who stabs the back of my constituency as soon as I got elected, and I wouldn't win re-election. So let me do the standard political thing and kick out the person who I consider my friend because he's doing something that's bad for my brand.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a businessman. He understands brands. Exactly.
And New Jerseyans will probably be happy about that.
I mean, do you think that Donald Trump will pardon Chris Christie if he gets indicted?
I don't know.
It would be funny as hell if he doesn't.
If he doesn't, that would be great. That would be great. No one would complain. Chris Christie has a 19% approval rating.
Is that the lowest of any New Jersey governor?
I think so. Thank fucking God. Good riddance to that motherfucker.
Do you think he's going to last the rest of his term or no?
Yeah, I think unless if he's indicted, but
he might resign though, right? Or no?
Oh, that too. Actually, maybe because I think his two of his the people involved with the Bridgegate, I think just got They're in court. They're either in court now or they got sentenced.
Right.
I think they're.
He would be smart as hell to resign right now and then have the lieutenant governor pardon him.
Mm-hmm. I think he's too arrogant, though. He's like, "Oh, nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm so good." I mean, do you know why Bridgegate happened?
I actually don't.
Okay, so this is how arrogant he is. The whole reason it happened was because the Democratic mayor of a like majority minority town wouldn't endorse Christie for his re-election bid in 2013, so he blocked the all of the lanes except for one on the Fort Lee Bridge, so that the town would be completely congested in traffic. There'd be all these fucking problems, and that was like his retribution.
Are you serious?
Yeah, what a child.
There was no actual like reason for that besides him using it as like political revenge.
Yeah, besides, oh, you didn't endorse me.
So he gave no actual reason for doing this. Like there was possibly some construction going on. Nothing like that.
Well, yeah. The cover for it is that there was like some traffic or construction thing, but there wasn't.
Wow. Yeah, he needs to be indicted.
Definitely.
He's a fucking straight up criminal.
He's straight up criminal. That thing, he's a manslaughter. Someone died because of that, because the ambulance couldn't get to them in time. They were having a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this guy was almost about to be the attorney general if he hadn't given Trump a list of lobbyists for his cabinet.
It's crazy. That is the last guy.
Fucking criminal. What about to be the attorney general?
Yeah. All right. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Maybe we could talk about possible 2020 selections for the Democratic nominee.
That's a good idea. Okay. So, you want to start it off?
I guess Sherrod Brown out of Ohio. He's a solid progressive.
Yeah.
The one problem with him is he's another Elizabeth Warren type. He never endorsed Bernie Sanders, which is ridiculous. He's one of those types that held out before the Democratic primary was over.
Weak sauce, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he was. Yeah, I think that was a bad strategy, but I think probably now, if it was the election now, he would endorse Sanders because of everything that's happened.
Yeah, but I mean, it's too late to do that now. You know?
Yeah.
People say 2020 is in hindsight, but it's good to be somebody like oh my God, how do I forget her name? The congresswoman from Tulsi Gabbard, somebody who was the vice chair of the DNC, who left her position just to endorse Bernie Sanders.
That was great. Yeah, she would be a very good a candidate because she's probably even more left wing than Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, she's completely against wars because she is a veteran. And against trade deals.
That adds to the credentials too. Like that gives her legitimacy when she talks about being anti-war.
I mean, I think she would win veterans.
Yeah, probably because they don't like the neocon policies either.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, 37% of them, I think, supported Gary Johnson. They would definitely go for someone who was like that.
How many supported Hillary Clinton? 2%? If that.
I don't know. Let me check.
I mean, she's one of the most hawkish candidates ever.
That's true.
Besides maybe like Lindsey Graham.
So, you mean veterans or current soldiers?
No, veterans.
Veterans. I'll just veterans 2016 election.
I know Donald Trump won a majority.
I don't see like. Oh, here we go. This is from September 7th, though. But it had Trump leading by like 20% over Hillary. I don't see any third-party candidates, though. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of someone else who should run in 2020.
What about Raul Grijalva?
He'd be a good candidate, but like we were saying earlier, I don't think any representative actually won a Democratic candidacy. I don't think that really matters, but it just is something to mention. It's mostly been senators. Because I think people feel that, you know, senators have more experience because they have longer, you know, they're in the government longer.
Yeah, and they're more important.
Right. But at the same time, the House does receive more legislation. And they do pass more legislation.
Yeah, I mean, they do the budget, which kind of affects literally everybody.
Yeah. You know, Senate is always filibustering and, you know, doing dumb shit, not getting anything done. They're the main reason why people hate the Congress, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that the Democrats are going to be obstructionists or no?
I don't know.
You think they're just going to like pass Louis Gohmert for Supreme Court and be like, oh yeah, he's a great guy. Get him in there. Oh, you want to destroy the EPA? Yeah, we agree. Oh, you want to get rid of all of the provisions of Obamacare except for like one? Yeah, go ahead.
All right, fine. Yeah, we're compromising. See, guys, this is how this is how policies get passed. This is why you should have supported Clinton. We're compromising. We're just allowing fracking all over the country, and we're getting a 0.2% tax increase on high-income earners in return. It's a very good deal.
Oh my goodness, a 5.6 earthquake in New Jersey because of fracking? What? That's great.
Yeah, guys, just believe in democracy. Believe when we come to power, that'll change, you know, because we're totally going to get in power.
Democrats fucking suck, man.
I know. They have no fucking... they have no, like, courage. And so my opinion on...
Even Elizabeth Warren, I mean, that was really pathetic what she did.
Yeah, I was really pissed off about that. Like, she would have been the best person to endorse him.
Right.
Yeah, to your question though, I could see them kind of like bluffing, at least like the establishment ones. Because do you remember back in like June when the Democrats had like that fake sit-in over like the gun shooting? Yeah, and then they just like completely gave up. Yeah, like I don't know, for some reason I could just see like that happening.
I really don't think that they're gonna put up a fight for the Supreme Court. I really don't think they will.
Really?
Because they're gonna say it's too important to have that seat not be filled. You know, that seat needs to be filled.
Even if it's Louis Gohmert?
This is an existential crisis. We need to get Louis Gohmert in there right now. Because we can't have that seat not be filled. Oh man, what happened?
All right, that was weird.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Louis Gohmert.
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, the Democrats are going to say that it's an existential crisis if we don't have a Supreme Court judge out on there. We can't have that seat not be filled. So we need to accept Louis Gohmert as, you know, a guy who's going to be passing crazy legislation for the next 20 years. 20 to 30, 40 years, who knows? God. You know, pretty soon, you know, corporations are people and money is free speech. Who knows what's next?
Yeah, well, if they start to go that far right, like them and the establishment Republicans should just like make their own like small little party that nobody's going to care about.
I don't even think the establishment Republicans are going to care anymore, because above all else, it's about being, you know, in politics.
Do you think? Yeah, I mean they're like voting like party line and everything, even when Trump's being like a total, like totally out of the norm. So they seem to.
At the end of the day, their money isn't being lobbyists. You know, their money is in politics. That's how they get paid, basically.
Yeah.
So they're not going to give that up.
Yeah.
But not very much of them actually like give a shit about principles.
No,
I mean, look at Ted Cruz. He's such a fucking swarmy piece of shit. I fucking hate Ted Cruz. I despise that man.
he's the person
But I
I
mean,
would have least wanted to win.
I think he would have got blown out by Hillary Clinton. Because
Yeah,
people just hate him. It's just something about him that everybody hates.
it's his face and his smarmy attitude. Ugh, he's just ugh.
Have you seen the interview he did earlier today, like praising Donald Trump?
No,
Oh, he's going to make America great again. He actually said that shit. It's the same guy who, at the end of the Republican primary, was saying that Donald Trump is a psychological liar, which is true,
so is Ted
and
Cruz.
bashing Donald Trump, saying a lot of things that were true, but then, now he wants to turn around and, praise Donald Trump. He's the next Ronald Reagan and all this bullshit. Because he knows that Donald Trump is probably going to appoint him to either Attorney General or possibly put him on the Supreme Court.
Oh my God, him and Louis Gohmert on the Supreme Court.
Not Louis Gohmert, but Trey Gowdy, definitely.
Dude, if that happens, like, there have to be mass protests.
I think Donald Trump is going to be the most protested president since Lyndon Johnson.
That would, yeah, definitely.
No, you know what? He's going to be the most protested president since Abraham Lincoln. There we go. I said it.
Or ever. Well, actually, no. Abraham Lincoln, that's the Civil War, so you can't really
Yeah,
put
I mean,
that.
a war happened. So.
Yeah, but no, I think you're right. I mean, yesterday at Rutgers, there was a historic protest in a small city, New Brunswick. I'm sure anyone watching this has never even heard of it, but like thousands of people were in the streets, and it happened in like every city in the country.
Yeah, it's happening all over the country. I mean, it's even happening in parts of Canada.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to see this like throughout the 4 years of Donald Trump's presidency.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of division and just high emotions.
I do think it's going to be worse than Johnson's presidency, as far as the protests are concerned.
Yeah.
But it might not be if Donald Trump somehow calms the waters, so to speak, which I doubt happens because he's still on Twitter talking shit. Can you imagine the president coming on Twitter talking shit, like calling the New York Times idiots?
At 3 a.m.?
The president.
At 3 a.m.
President.
What is he fucking doing?
The president just made a post about Megyn Kelly.
Oh boy, it's 3 a.m. Time to go after the New York Times.
Oh my goodness. The president of the United States just called Bill Kristol a dumbass. Wow. And this is Hillary Clinton's fault and her supporters' fault.
Yeah.
That's why we have Donald Trump as the president right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Sucked. She's a Goldwater girl. She lived up to that name.
Absolutely, yeah, the super predators.
I couldn't believe all the fucking super predators that came out and supported her. LeBron James, Jay-Z, fucking like ex-drug dealer.
Yeah,
Really?
Wow, that's If you were a drug dealer, I would totally not vote for her.
I mean, did she support marijuana legalization or no?
Good question, actually.
I don't even think she mentioned it once on her campaign.
Yeah, I never heard of it. I never heard her say anything about it. Hold on.
So, do you think Tim Ryan stands a chance against Pelosi?
I don't know anything about Tim Ryan, really. Like, we talked about him briefly before, but
okay, so he's anti-trade. He supports marijuana legalization. He's kind of conservative on social issues, though.
okay.
He's basically like a white collar worker, a blue collar worker from Ohio. So just think of your average blue collar worker from Ohio.
And
that's basically him.
This race is in California?
No, this is for the House Minority Leader.
Right, okay. I don't. Is that just vote? That's just voted in by like the Democratic Party in the House.
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. I don't know. If
I mean, Chuck Schumer has been saying that they need to change, which is, astonishing given the fact that he's one of the most corporate Democrats there is.
yeah, so yeah, maybe actually that'll happen. Or maybe Nancy Pelosi will just be like, "Oh, we're going to change our tune." The Democrats will be like, "Oh, okay, cool. You said that you're going to do that. We'll believe you uncritically," and then they'll vote for her.
Yeah, and then she's gonna pass the trans galactic trade deal. Next thing we know, we're sending jobs to Mars and shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there we go, change. Intergalactic trades. It's amazing.
Yeah, just let these corporations control the galactic government. They could sue the government, and
Yeah, I mean, the Martians are working for like 2 cents an hour now.
yeah, it's crazy. And whenever the galactic government tries to do something, the corporations just sue them.
Yeah, I mean, the corporations have free speech. You got to remember that.
Yeah, that's true.
Cannot limit their free speech.
It's correct. So I got some work to do, so I gotta go. But this was a cool hangout.
Yeah.
And to what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, we basically broke down the whole election cycle.
Yep.
So hopefully Keith Ellison becomes a DNC chair, and hopefully Tim Ryan, at least he's anti-trade. Hopefully he becomes a House Minority Leader.
Mm-hmm.
To be open to not being such a neoliberal hack. But who knows? Because he is fucking Chuck Schumer, so who knows?
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. And like the other thing we said, hopefully that Trump passes the TPP and forces the Democrats to take action within their party, because then he'll be a good president by being a bad president.
Right. Hopefully he goes to war with like Slovenia or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous. And people are just like, fuck this.
All right, man.
All right, guys. Tune in. Maybe we'll have another one soon. Thanks for watching.